What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I just got done watching a movie, obviously for the very first time, Demolition Man. Demolition Man is a 1993 film that was directed by Marco Brambili, something like that. Here's a movie that I had heard about for years. It's been talked about for years. It's been one of those movies that I don't want to say felt like it was underrated or underappreciated by people who do talk about it and do enjoy it. But the cast alone made me want to check this movie out. You have Sylvester Stallone as a cop, who at the very beginning of the movie he tries to stop Wesley Snipes' character, who's a crazed criminal lunatic, and he screws up. Stallone screws up big time, causes a lot of people to get killed, so he himself kind of gets imprisoned in a cryo chamber sort of device. He gets frozen for 70 years. But then he gets out like 40 years later in the future because Wesley Snipes' character, who also was kept frozen, has now broken out and he's causing mayhem and chaos in the future, and Stallone's the only guy that could stop him. Now, what I thought of Demolition Man was I really enjoyed this film. I did, honestly. I didn't know what to expect from it. I didn't know if it would be too dated, or if it would be too cheesy, or if it would be too much. And honestly, at the very beginning, it was a crapshoot because Stallone is playing your, I don't want to say generic, but stereotypical good guy. There's not a whole lot more to him other than he's the good guy. It's not like he does a bad job, Stallone, but I've certainly seen him play more interesting characters or more relatable characters or just better written characters, I guess. His mistake at the beginning was huge, was major. It is interesting to see a hero that did make such a huge faux pas like that. And to see him, though, get frozen like that, that was just kind of like, really? If he really is a decorated cop, or, somebody that they trust to be able to do certain missions, or at least get jobs done as good as he normally does, other than this one time, I get it's a huge screw-up, but this punishment seems very severe for what you're doing. I don't know, was there a trial? Was there a vote? Was there, who decided that that's the proper punishment for him? I don't know. But when you see him in the future, I thought that's where a lot of the interesting things came in as far as the plot goes, seeing the future. I mean, it wasn't too futuristic to where it was unrecognizable. It wasn't Blade Runner, or it wasn't like that, although that would have been fine. But whenever I think of the future in movies, I think of The Fifth Element, I think of flying cars, and I think of all this stuff, where this was pretty much the same, just slight upgrades, slight higher technology, and just tech in general. And I appreciated that because this is probably what 2032 or whatever it was really is going to look like in a lot of ways. I like seeing him paired with Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock plays another cop in the future that becomes his partner, especially because this is 1 year before Speed. Sandra Bullock clearly blew up after Speed. That made her a household name. And this movie, I think she's really good, though, as well, where she has that spunk, she has that quirkiness, but she's not annoying. I enjoyed what she brought to the table here. A lot of jokes with her trying to relate to Stallone, trying to say these lines or say these things, but not quite getting them right. It provided me with a lot of good laughs, that's for sure. Jokes that I'm not so sure they could get away with having her say today. And who else do we have in the cast? Before I get to the main event, Benjamin Bratt, who randomly was a cop as well. I thought that was interesting. Jesse Ventura, who is like one of the gang members. He doesn't say one word. He doesn't have a line of dialogue, which is weird because it's Jesse Ventura, and he did Predator before this, so I don't know why he doesn't talk. He's just kind of there. Dennis Leary also seems weirdly placed here. He is I guess a major character, or at least he's treated like a major character, but honestly, if you had taken his character out, I'm not so sure he would have been that missed from the plot, but I guess he's here to do his stand-up act and then get out. Okay, sure. Rob Schneider, when he shows up, I rolled my eyes and I thought, holy hell, are we going to get another Judge Dredd situation? Because, man, do I hate that movie with Stallone and Schneider. That, I got flashbacks. I got PTSD thinking that, seeing the two of them together. But luckily, he's only here for like 2 scenes, and he's not annoying. Thank God, because that clearly would have ruined the movie if that was the case. But Wesley Snipes is the main event. Wesley Snipes is the most memorable takeaway character from this movie. He was hilarious, he was entertaining, he was amusing, he was charismatic. I know he's the villain, and I know I shouldn't like him, but I'm constantly laughing or constantly just waiting to see what this guy is going to do next. He's so unpredictable, he's so over the top, but in a good way. From the first scene of just him laughing, and like, he reminded me of a non-painted Joker where he's blowing stuff up. He doesn't care if he dies, he just wants to get at Stallone. In the future he's going around and doing what he's doing. It's just, I was glued to the screen whenever Wesley Snipes showed up. The scenes where he just knocks people over into the museum, and there's one scene where he makes fun of a bunch of Chinese kids that walk by. I mean, that's super racist, sure. Once again, can't do it today, but I laughed. I guess I'm a horrible, horrible person. I don't know. It just felt like most of Snipes' dialogue, I should mention his character's name, Simon Phoenix, seems like Wesley Snipes' dialogue was mostly improvised. It seemed like all of the good stuff was just him going off, him calling everybody motherfucker, him just that energy was hugely important. And he wasn't even the first pick for this role. I think Steven Seagal was wanted, Jackie Chan, a couple other people. If anybody else did this role, did play this villain, this movie would not be as good. It would not be as memorable. It would not get as much of a good review probably as what I'm giving it right now. The big star of this film is Wesley Snipes. The action is insane. The action, things blowing up like crazy, practical effects galore. I enjoyed it. It made me miss the days of big budget action movies like this that aren't superhero related. Don't get me wrong, I love my superhero movies all day, every day. I'll take them. But you don't get as many action movies like this anymore, and there's something to be said about that. Also with the sci-fi twist of the time travel, or whatever you want to call it. And I really enjoyed the ongoing joke of when they are in the future, the government tries to keep crime at a low, so they have this thing where if you swear out loud, a machine or a computer can hear you and constantly feed you tickets. Constantly say, if you're swearing, here's a ticket, here's another ticket. Wesley Snipes, God forbid how many he got, lost count of how many tickets he got. Eventually the cops are called. I mean, it was a very clever gag that never got too annoying, that always made me chuckle, even in the later scenes. So this movie pleasantly surprised me. I enjoyed watching it. I almost want to just watch it again, just to really soak it in and make up for all these years that I have not watched this. Very glad that I did, though. Let me know in the comments below if you too have seen Demolition Man. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Do you love it? Did you grow up on it? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!